Om Shanti. Today, Avkyat Murli, 6/1/1988. Be knowledgeable and loving with your heart and finish any leakage. Today, Bab Dada, the ocean of love, has come to meet his loving children. This spiritual love, God's love, is true, altruistic love. This love of the true heart makes all of you souls loving for the whole cycle because God's love, soul conscious love, imperceivable love, spiritual love is the foundation of Brahman life. If you don't have the experience of spiritual love, then you don't have the true bliss of Brahman life. God's love is the magnetic to transform any soul, no matter how impure he is. It is the easy instrument for transformation. Love is the basis of giving you a right and making you experience spiritual intoxication. Where there is love, you have an entertaining Brahman life. If there isn't love, Brahman life is dry. It is a life of effort. God's love is love from the heart. Worldly love breaks your heart into pieces because it gets disturbed. You have to fulfill the responsibility of love to many. Alaukic love brings together the many broken pieces of the heart. By loving the one Father, you automatically become cooperative with everyone because the Father is the seed. When a seed is watered, every leaf automatically receives water, right? There is no need to water every leaf. To forge love with the spiritual Father in this way means to be loving to everyone. This is why the heart is not broken into pieces. Love makes every task easy. That is, it frees you from laboring. Where there is love, you have automatic and easy remembrance of that one. It is difficult to forget someone you love. It is not difficult to remember that one. No matter how much knowledge that is, how much understanding you have in your intellect, accurate knowledge means knowledge filled with love. If you love, if you have knowledge but no love, that is dry knowledge. Love enables you to experience all relationships with your heart. Those who are simply knowledgeable remember with their head, whereas those who are loving remember with their heart. Those who remember with their head have to work hard at their remembrance. Service and dharna. They eat the fruit of hard work, whereas others eat the fruit of love. Where there isn't love, where there is intellectual knowledge, then even with things of knowledge, the intellect will keep bleating with why, what, how, and there will continue to be a battle with oneself. There will be more waste thoughts. Where there are such questions, there will be a queue of why. Where there is love, there is no battle, but you are absorbed in love. You are merged. When you have love in your heart, there is no question of why or what. Just as moths in their love for a flame do not ask such question as why or what, but simply sacrifice themselves. In the same way, souls who are loving to God remain merged in love. Some children have a heart-to-heart conversation with the Father and also complain. They say they have knowledge in their intellect, that they have become Brahmins. They know about souls. They also know the Father with his full introduction. They are aware of the relationships. They have knowledge of the cycle, the Creator, and the creation, and yet they ask why it's remembrance easy. Why do they not have the constant experience of bliss, power, and peace? Why is it that they have difficulty with remembrance? Why do they not have constant remembrance? Why do they rapidly forget to remember? The reason for that is the knowledge is only in the head. There is knowledge, but there is little love in the heart. They have intellectual love. I am a child. He is the father, the best doer. They have this intellectual knowledge. However, when this knowledge becomes merged in their heart, what sign is then shown for love? A heart. So then knowledge and love become combined. Knowledge is the seed and the water is love. If a seed doesn't receive water, it won't bear fruit. In the same way, if you have knowledge but there is no love in your heart, you don't receive the fruit of attainment. This is why you find it hard work. Love means to be merged in the ocean of all attainment and experience in broadly life too. A small gift of love gives you the experience of so much attainment. However, if there is an exchange in a relationship based on selfishness, then even if one gives a million, even when the other one receives a million, there won't be contentment and they would continue to find one shortcoming or other. There should be this, that should be done. Nowadays they spend so much, they have so much show, but in spite of that, does their love brings them closer or make them distant? The exchange of a million doesn't enable them to experience as much happiness as one tiny thing given with love from the heart does. That makes you experience so much happiness. This is because love of the heart also settles karmic accounts. Love is such a special experience. So ask yourself, along with knowledge, do you also have love in your heart? There isn't any leakage from your heart, is there? What happens when there is a leakage? If there is the slightest love for someone other than the Father, even in your thoughts, whether for people or for things, if there is love for a person's body or love for someone's speciality on the basis of some limited attainment, then who gave them speciality? Who gave that attainment? Even if there is the slightest love, that is attachment of any type, whether in your thoughts, words, or actions, that would be called a leakage. Some children very innocently say, I don't have attachment, but I like it. I don't want it, but I still remember it. So the sign of attachment is to be servant, so it is in your thoughts, words, or actions. This is why, because of the leakage, your power doesn't increase, and because you are not powerful, you find it takes effort to remember the Father. Then, because of having to labor, you are not content. Where there isn't contentment, 1 minute you will be intoxicated with the experience of remembrance, and the next minute you will get disheartened. This is because due to leakage. You are filled with power for some time, but not all the time. Therefore, you are unable to be a constant yogi easily. So check, is there attachment to any person or thing? That is there any leakage? This leakage will not allow you to experience the stage of being absorbed in love. You may use the things, but use them while being a yogi. Let it not be that what you consider to be things of comfort make the stage of your mind restless, because some children are influenced by things and are not able to recognize the attachment of their minds. The royal language they use is that they are not hatha yogis. that they are easy yogis. It is good to be easy yogis, but are you yogi? The thing that makes remembrance of the Father fluctuate, that is the thing that attracts you, that makes you servant, does not make you someone who uses that thing as a yogi because you belong to the Father. Matter becomes your servant from time to time. That is the attainment of the facilities of comfort continue to increase. The last 18 to 19 years, there has been so much attainment. All the facilities of comfort are continually increasing. However, you receive these attainment as the fruit of belonging to the Father. So while eating the fruit, do not forget the seed. These facilities will continue to increase for a short time. However, while being in comfort, do not forget Rama. Remain a true Sita. Do not let even a thumb, that is your thoughts, go outside the line of the code of conduct, because if you use these facilities without spiritual endeavor sadhana, they would work like the golden deer. Therefore, always keep yourself safe from attachment and from services to people and things. Otherwise, instead of being loving to the Father and becoming an easy yogi, you would sometimes be cooperative, sometimes an easy yogi, and sometimes separated from yoga. You would continue to have both experience. Sometimes there would be remembrance, and sometimes complaint. You would experience this is the complaints would be never ending. The first sign of being servant to people and things which you were told of is that you will sometimes be an easy yogi, sometimes a yogi, and sometimes a com- complainer. Secondly, although such a soul would have attained everything facilities, cooperation, and love, yet a soul with leakage would never be constant. Even while having attainment, words of discontentment of one type or other would always emerge from the mouth of such a soul. Others would experience that soul receive a lot that no one else receives as much as that one does. But yet that soul is always speaking of his lack of attainment or his sorrow. People would say that no one is as happy as that one, whereas that one would say that no one is as unhappy as he is. This is because he is a gas balloon. When it is big, it goes very high, but when it is goes flat, it falls somewhere. It appears to be very beautiful when it is flying, but it is only for a temporary period. That one will never be content with his fortune. He would always make someone or other responsible for his lack of fortune and say, this one does it, this. It happens like this and this is why I don't have that fortune. The best doer of fortune is the one who creates fortune. When the best doer of fortune is creating fortune, a soul's power cannot shake the fortune of God's power. All of those are just games of excuses because they don't know the game of the flying stage. They make many excuses. Everyone is clever in this. Therefore, check whether it is services because of love or services because of settling karmic accounts. Even when there is jealousy or dislike for someone, there is services. You would repeatedly keep remembering that person. You would sit in yoga to remember the Father, but instead of that, you would remember the person you are jealous of or the person you dislike. You would think that you are a spinner or the discus of self-realization, but you would really be spinning the discus of looking at others. So both types of services brings you down, therefore check both. Then you put in a request to the Father. I am generally very good, but there is just this one thing which you should finish. The Father smiles, for you are the one who created the account, and you say the Father should settle it. For him to help you settle it is fine, but it is not right that he should settle it for you. At the time of creating the account, you forgot the Father, whereas at the time of settling it, you call out, Baba, Baba. Karan Karavan Har is bound to help you settle it, but you will have to settle it yourself. So, did you hear what news Bab Dada sees in the children? What was the essence? Do not just be dry and knowledgeable. Do not be intellectual knowledgeable, full. Be knowledgeable and loving in your heart and check any leakage. Do you understand? The 18th January is coming, is it not? This is why Baba is reminding you in advance so that you are able to celebrate the day of the 18th January as the day for being constantly powerful. Do you understand? Do not just celebrate it by relating the life story, but celebrate it by making your life equal to. Acha? To those who are constantly free from services to people and things, to those who are merged in the Father's love, to those who experience the combined stage of having accurate knowledge and love in their heart, to those who use all the facilities as yogis with the stage of spiritual endeavor, to the children who are constantly loving and always merged in the Father's heart. Love, remembrance, and namaste from the Father, the comforter of hearts. Do you consider yourselves to be double heroes? Your lives have become as valuable as diamonds, and so you have become like diamonds, and you are those who play hero parts in the world drama from the beginning to the end. So you have become double heroes, have you not? In a limited drama, the actor who plays the hero part is remembered, but none of them are double heroes, whereas you are double heroes. To play your parts with the Father is such a great fortune. So you are constantly keeping this elevated fortune in your awareness and continuing to move forward. Are you not? You are not those who come to a standstill, are you? Those who don't get tired, don't stop, they continue to move on. So, are you those who stop moving or those who get tired? When you are alone, you get tired. When you get bored, you get tired. However, when you have company, there is always jail and enthusiasms. What do you do when you go on a pel- pilgrim? You make a group, do you not? Why do you do this with a group and with company? You continue to move forward with zeal and enthusiasm. So, all of you also always keep moving forward on this spiritual pilgrimage because the Father's company and the company of the Brahman family is such great company. When you have a good companion, you don't get bored or tired. So, those who are constantly moving forward are always cheerful. They always continue to dance in happiness. So, you are continuing to progress, are you not? You have to progress because in whichever corner there are some children who have become separated. Those souls there are definitely going to come close. This is why there continues to be progress in service too. no matter how much you would like just to sit down quietly and peacefully. You won't be able to do so. Service will not allow you to sit. It will make you move forward because the souls who belong to the Father will definitely belong to the Father once again. Acha, the Pandavas must be thinking that the Shaktis get very good chances. That is good to become Dadis. However, if the Pandavas did not have planning intellect, what would the Shaktis do? Even in the last birth, to become a Pandava is not a small fortune. The speciality of the Pandavas is that they are always with Father Brahma. So the Pandavas are no less. There are no Shaktis without the Pandavas, and no Pandavas without the Shaktis. In the four-armed image, there are two arms of one and the two arms of the other. This is why the speciality of the Pandavas is their own. The Dadis received service just in name, and this is why they do it. However, the Shaktis always have love and regard for the Pandavas, and the Pandavas always have love and regard for the Shaktis. And you will always have this Shaktis. The Shaktis keep the Pandavas in the front. It is in this that there is success, and you Pandavas keep the Shaktis in the front, and there is success in this for you. Both have made the lessons of you first frame by always saying you first. You will become first yourself. When the father is in between, there is no fighting. The Pandavas have received a very good blessings of the intellect. Whatever task you are an instrument for, you have also received a speciality according to that task. Each one's speciality is as good as the others. This is why you are instrument soul. Acha. Thank you so much, Baba. Thank you so much.